told me back and forth. You made my head swell. You told me I was the most beautiful girl.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to day 20 of the 39 days of July. And today or tonight would have been a walkabout Wednesday in the city square. That kind of bigness, that kind of hugeness, that kind of expectations we have for donations. Yes, but we call it Talk About Wednesdays now because everyone, that's all you can do is talk about it. No sense all coming downtown, although we do have some room. Now, I'm going to lose it. I can't remember the dog's name. I know it sounds like Kitsilano, but it's not Quitsila.
Yeah.
Kitsila.
Yeah.
That's she just looked at me when I said it. Of course, she's our special guest tonight with the big mess. It's pretty damn cool. She got her own bed. She's gonna be sitting there. She's got her own phone. Hello, everybody.
I love you, Duncan.
39 Days of July. This is not the first time the big mess has ever been at the 39 Days of July. We try to bring him back. I remember once we came back, and we actually did it on two different stages. We moved the stage. We came down one time, and the next time he came down, we had moved the stage over. Back when we were really energetic in the second year, and I was much younger. But now that we've worked it all out, by the way, this is kind of neat with this whole Ustream, with this live stream thing, is because if people who don't catch it tonight, and you've got a bunch of people watching, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, well, they're going to be able to, one anyway, they can share it. They can go back and watch it, so they can see this forever and ever and ever. It's so, it's just going to be so much fun. Now, we're really fortunate that they're not that far up the road. They're just in Nanaimo, right? Mm-hmm. And I've always get to this point when I go to introduce someone, I don't know how to describe what you're about to see here and all that other part, except this is a father, a son, and their dog. And they hang out together, and they play music together in a fashion that is only unto themselves.
Aww.
It is so endearing. It is so mellow and quiet and gentle. And yeah, you got it. The big mess. Take it away, guys.
So quiet. Thank you.
Oh, what a mystery this crazy world can be, and all the wild stuff that I've been through, searching around for something true, went clear from here to Timbuktu, till I finally found a friend like you. No, I'm not too sure what I'm always searching for, but I'm searching each day till the day gets late and I wake up on the floor. Buddy, I don't know just where that river flows. Yeah, all I see that's guiding me is the fuzz on the end of my nose. Oh, I believe in destiny or whatever it is. I brought a friend like you to me. So we sing doodly-dee, doodly-do, doodly-doo-doo, doodly-doo-doo, doodly-dee, doodly-do, doodly-doo-doo, doodly-doo-doo, doodly-dee, doodly-do, doodly-doo-doo, doobie-doo-doo, doodly-dee, doodly-do. A friend like you, buddy, I know you got my back. You even laugh at my cheap wisecracks. And if I fell down and got turned around, you put me right back on track. So I'm looking out for you, 'cause buddy, I'm a good buddy too. And if you're in despair, you know I'd be there, 'cause that's what good buddies do. And now I believe camaraderie can help us solve the world's great mysteries. So we sing doodly-dee, doodly-do, doodly-doo-doo, doobie-doo-doo, doodly-dee, doodly-do, doodly-doo-doo, doobie-doo-doo, doodly-dee, doodly-do, doodly-doo-doo, doobie-doo-doo, doodly-dee, doobie-doo. Hit it, buddy! sing. Dolly dee, dolly do, doodly doo doo, dooby dooby doo. Dolly dee, dolly do, doodly doo doo, dooby dooby doo. Dolly dee, dolly do, doodly doo doo, dooby doo doo. Dabba doo doo, dabba doo doo, dabba doo doo, dam doo doo, dam doo doo doo, dam doo doo doo, friend like you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, thank you very much. No, please, please. Thank you. Center yourself with the clapping. Schwimmertja. Vlogo moja napsi mestin kardia. Ya habibi, ya laleli, Tadia suili stazunimeli Majiki, krzotiki, umorfion.
Thank you. What's our next song? Gisela liked it. Her tail's wagging. Gisela, that's our new song.
Hey, whose tail's wagging tonight? Besides Gisela's. Mine is.
Are you ready?
What's that?
I don't know.
Ready.
What is it?
We're gonna go old back jazz style way back in the house when people jazz used to be fun and experimental and people used to have a good time. Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air? High hats and arrow collars, white spats and lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time. Twine, 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 If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Different types of everyday coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits. Putting on the Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper, come let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks and umbrellas in their mitts. Putting on the Ritz, 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 Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air? High hats and arrow collars, white spats and lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time. You're blue and you don't know where to go to. Why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Different types to everyday coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coats, perfect fits. Putting on the Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Alice Cooper. Super duper, come let's mix our Rockefellers, walk with mitts and umbrellas in their mitts. Putting on the Ritz, 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 Ritz,
Let me hear. Skibbity bobbity bibbity lop, diddly daddly dip. Skibbity bop, diddly dop, great. Ah, woo, woo. Putting down the rats. Dressed up like $1 million trooper. Trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper. Come, let's mix with Rockefellers. Walk with sticks and umbrellas in their midst. Oh, putting on the Ritz. Putting on the Ritz. Putting on the Ritz. Putting on the, putting on the, putting on the, putting on the, putting on the Ritz.
We have a winner of the dance contest. Couple number 7.
Come on down here, everybody. No, they're acting a little shy. That's all right. Turn the fire alarm on and they'll wake up. All right, so this next song, brief introduction. I was listening to this sweet gypsy jazz guitarist solo one night, and I swear I could hear words coming out of that guitar. So I slowed it down, and I wrote down what I heard. And this is what I heard. I'm gonna sit down. It had to be you, it had to be you. I've wandered around, finally found somebody who could make me be true, yeah, but also feel blue. Or even be glad, just to be sad when I'm thinking of you. The mothers I've seen might never be mean, might never be cross or try to be boss, but they wouldn't do. For nobody else gives me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. Had to be you, wonderful you. It's had to be you. Marty, alleviate my pain. Okay, here we go. I really don't doubt it that you won't come with me to see the sea. I knew I wasn't wrong in going around the house and saving all the water for that thing that everybody knows, but not a one's the one that's willing to speak of. Too bad for the gardens of the future when the hose runs out. Free water. It came out of a spot called Spout where people would gather and do a dance. So happy, intuitively grateful for the sweet, refreshing water which just seemed to come out spout from nowhere. And now we're lucky to have the last living hope. Our hearts go big with what could be a guided simulation of the way that things could have, not shouldn't have been. Don't you freak when hell breaks loose. Don't you freak now. It's ugly and dry. Come on. Now, don't you freak when hell breaks loose. Don't you freak now. It's ugly and dry. Come on. Don't you freak when hell breaks loose. Don't you freak now. It's ugly and dry. Come on. Take your awful socks off, let the land up between your toes. Take off your hat and stay a while lying here in denial. Be with the ones who feel the magnitude of what we've gone and done ain't proportional somehow to how we gonna feel someday when word hopefully not gets out that Spout is gone out. He's he's out. He's right out of water, my friend. And all we had to do was manage several slick methods of using what we had already in abundance. Underground, above ground, up top. Even the noosphere can squeeze a couple drops as tears cried. So you used to cry, hold on to your water, save your tears for a rainless day. And water, the biggest, brightest berries on the bush. That's if you've got any more. And it's not too late. Don't you freak when hell breaks loose. So don't you freak now. It's ugly and dry. Come on, do it. Help me. Oh, don't you freak when hell breaks loose. So don't you freak now. It's ugly and dry. Come on. For nobody else gives me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It's gotta be you, wonderful you. It's always been you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So that was Chavolo Schmidt on guitar, channeling through me some lyrics. I don't know Chavolo. Chavolo doesn't know me, but there we go. We've collaborated.
What's the next one? We got more?
Jessica Troy's watching online. She says, "We love Gitzela."
Ooh. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Rosemary. Hi, Lula. Hi, Steven. Hi,
Our
Eli.
favorite little dog.
Okay, we can't waste time. This is a love song about. This one goes out to June. Good old June. To really love a woman, to understand her, you gotta know her deep inside. Your every thought, it's every dream. Give her wings when she wants to fly. Then when you find yourself lying helpless in her arms, you know you really love a woman. When you love a woman, you tell her that she's really wanted. When you love a woman, you tell her that she's the one. 'Cause she needs somebody to tell her that it's gonna last forever. So tell me, have you ever really, really, really ever loved a woman? To really love a woman, let her hold you till you know how she needs to be touched, 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 touched. You gotta taste her, really breathe her, till you can feel her in your blood. Then when you see your unborn children in her eyes, you know you really love a woman. When you love a woman, you tell her that she's really wanted. When you love a woman, you tell her that she's the one. 'Cause she needs somebody to tell her that you'll always be together. So tell me, have you ever really, really, really ever loved a woman? You've got to give her some faith. Ooh, hold her tight, a little tenderness, yeah. It's gonna be alright, yeah. She'll be there for you, taking good care kiss in her arms, you know you really love a woman. Hey! When you love a woman, you tell her that she's really wanted. When you love a woman, you tell her that she's the one. 'Cause she needs somebody to tell her that it's gonna last forever. Tell me, have you ever really, really, really ever loved a woman? Oh, so tell me, have you ever really, really, really ever loved a woman? So tell me, have you ever really, really, really ever loved a woman?
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Duncan! Woo! All right, this next song is a song by a really cool swing revival band called the Squirrel Nut Zippers, but the track was put together for us by our good friend Antonio Gradante.
He did our first song too, Doodly Doo.
Oh, yeah, he did. So this is another Tony arrangement track. It's a weight on my back. I'm lost in a stack without my drug. My blues, alone and confused. I'm spreading the news about my drag. I could go right along singing songs of love that happiness brings. But if I stop for a while, I could smile and be glad. But that crazy feeling keeps coming back bad. My drug, it's a hound on my track. I'm lost in a stack without my drag.
my God, what has he had for supper? Thank you. Thank you. Tell me what the next one.
How we doing on time?
Good. We're doing good.
Looks like Gitzela's coming to say hi to some of y'all. Welcome the most important member of our band, Gitzela. She's on the floor beneath your feet, so watch out.
Full name, full name.
Gitzela, Galapagos, Galadriel, Giscari, Mother of Dragons, Breaker of Trains, Taker of Walks. Che questa mia canzone arrivi a te, ti porterà da venire di nessuno la scuoterà, la canterò con poca voce, sussurrando te là, arriverà prima che tu ti addormenterai. E sempre mi sognerai che al cielo cadrò, e se domanderai da qui cancellerò, e se tristezza e vuoto avrai, da qui risponderò. Sognami se nevica, sognami sono nuvola, sono vento e nostalgia, sono dove vai, ai, 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 ai. Se mi sognerai quel viso ariatrò, l'aria da mai più quel piangere per me, sorridere avrò. Sognami se nevica, sognami sono nuvola, sono vento che avrai, sognami da lì. Sono vento e nostalgia, sono dove vai, ai, 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 Stania, sognami dali, sognami dali, mio corroelli, mio corroelli. Thank you. Yeah, we wear Dad out. That's why Longevity granted us a 45-minute set so he could take a nap afterwards. They really love me. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Is this a Tony track? Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your tears and sorrow, smile. And maybe tomorrow you'll find the sun comes shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness. Hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear maybe ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is so worthwhile. Yes, if you just smile. Smile when your heart is waking. Smile even though your mind may be breaking. Although there are clouds in the sky, you get by. That's the time you gotta keep on trying and smile. What's the use of crying? You'll find that life is so worthwhile if you just
Thank you. We really appreciate that. Gitzla, smile. Do we have time
I
for...
love you all so very much. I just wanted to say that.
Now do that again in Gitzla's voice.
Do we have time for one more? We do? Okay. All right, well, we're going to do an old Big Mess classic, so get your dancing boogies on. What? Your dancing boogies? Blow your dancing boogies out and get ready. This is a song by our good friend and compatriot, local island musician, Brooke Maxwell, local island legend, Brooke Maxwell. And this arrangement was recorded and put together for us by Nico Rhodes.
Beautiful day for making hay and a ride in my old two-seater. I go see Raoul, that Casanova fool, my friend the fire eater. So I surely went to the circus tent to hear about his latest fling. But he looked half dead with his eyes all red, and so I started to sing. Raoul, Raoul, what's the matter with you? Raoul, Raoul, why do you look so blue? Raoul, Raoul, what's the matter, my chum? Raoul, Raoul, why do you look so glum? And he said, I'm in love with a bearded lady, gonna marry that girl, have a mustache baby, gonna buy a little house in the country somewhere, run my fingers through her long brown hair. All right. I replied, my friend, this is reason to celebrate. Yes, my friend, you found your perfect mate. Raoul, Raoul, why aren't you smiling and glad? Raoul, you fool, this is the best you both ever had. He said, I'm in love with a bearded lady, gonna marry that girl, have a mustache baby, but she's in love with the muscle man guy. So these tears were from my eye, oh my, oh sigh, don't cry, love is a crazy game. Oh my, oh sigh, don't cry, love is a crazy game. Yes, yes, love is a... Man, wait. Hey, look, the circus is coming to town, everybody! Before. Yes, Raoul, the ladies knock at your door. Raoul, Raoul, you're sure to win her desire. Yes, Raoul, it's much easier than swallowing fire. I'm in love with a bearded lady, gonna marry that guy. I'm afraid, cause he winks when he smiles when he looks my way. I kinda get the feeling that he might be. Hey, hey, hey. No way! Hey, hey, hey. You don't say. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, love is a crazy game. Hey, hey, hey. No way! Hey, hey, hey. You don't say. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, love is a crazy game. Beep boo. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, step right up and observe the strong man wrap his big meaty fingers around this oiled up handle and bash the living crap out of this thing. And when he hits it hard enough, a bell goes off, and I'll take your money. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Whoa! Ay, ay, ay. Love is a crazy game. Everybody! Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. You got it back there. Ay, ay, ay. Love is a crazy game. Headbands! Ay, ay, ay. Rock band! Ay, ay, ay. Papa! Ay, ay, ay. All right! Love is a crazy game. Ay, ay, ay. Papa! Ay, ay, ay. Papa! Ay, ay, ay. Love is a crazy game. Cha-cha-cha! I'm in love with a bearded lady, gonna marry that girl, have a mustache baby, gonna buy a little house in the country somewhere. Run my fingers. I'm in love with a bearded lady. Gonna marry that girl, have a mustache, baby. Gonna buy a little house in the country somewhere. Run my fingers through her long brown hair. Oh, yes, that hair all over the place. Oh. Shit, let me try. Okay. Hey, thank
Yo, we're
you.
the big mess.
Thank you. This is Marty Shepard, my daddy-o.
And this is my kid, my little punk rocker, Kyle Shepard. Thank you. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure to
I'll
play
tell you, man,
at the
the
Duncan.
big mess. I don't know anybody who was watching this tonight who wasn't at home moving about the kitchen, just doing. I hope they weren't playing with knives while they're making supper or something, you know. That was so cool. Well, and I'm glad you did that song. I'm glad because I was wondering, are they going to do it? Yeah, they did it. I love it. Big mess. You make sure you keep an eye out for them. And they will come and do a private house party, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah,
If anybody or 20, 25 people gather, you can all be spatially distanced, pick out a nice big backyard and everything. You need somebody. Now, it's not a freebie. It's going to cost you some money, but they really are fun to have in your space.
Yeah, big-mess.com. You'll
Yes,
find us.
You'll find them. God. And make sure you share this with your friends. Now, we're going to give you about 10, 15 minutes of regular music that we've recorded here before at the Duncan Showroom from previous live performances while we get ready for Daniel Lapp to be coming along with Emmett and Adam Dobre. So stay tuned. And again, thanks, Big Mess. What a wonderful time that was. Anybody in the audience, let's give it one more time for them. Let's hear it. Yes. And thank you, good. Oh, what's your name again?
Thank you. Ow!
Oh, watch your
Oh,
mouth.
gosh.
Watch your
dangerous
mouth.
being a singer, hey? You know. Gitzala.
Where are you, Gitzala? Come on, Gitzala.
She's like, I'm in the green room already. I'm
get-
done. Give me a Tylenol.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
I just thought that you should know the truth. And if you ask me, I'll tell it all to you. 'Cause if you wanted, I would be the one. And if you need to know that you're the only one I want. 'Cause if it helps you to sleep at night, I'll be right there by your side. 'Cause I just wanna feel your heart beating right by me tonight. And I just thought that you should know that I don't wanna let her go. 'Cause I just wanna feel your heart beating right by me tonight. And if you knew what was on my mind, and if you knew I think about you all the time, 'cause in my memories I can see your silly smile. And when you think of me, I hope that you will stay a while. 'Cause if it helps you to sleep at night, I'll be right there by your side. 'Cause I just wanna feel your heart beating right by me tonight. And I just thought that you should know that I don't wanna let her go. 'Cause I just wanna feel your heart beating right by me tonight. You know what they say, babe, we're lying, lying. You know that you will never see me stop trying. 'Cause you know we're just taking it slow. 'Cause if it helps you sleep at night, then I'll be right there by your side. 'Cause I just wanna feel your heart I found out that my brand new clothes came secondhand from the rich kids next door. Well, I grew up fast, I guess I grew up mean. There's 1,000 things inside my head I wish I ain't seen. Now I just wanted through a real bad dream, and I'm feeling like I'm coming apart at the seams. Thank you, Jack Daniels. Oh, number 7, Tennessee whiskey got me drinking in heaven now. Can't you start to look good to me? You're gonna have to deport me to the fiery deep. Thank you, Jack Daniels. Oh, number 7, Tennessee whiskey drinking in heaven now. No, I can't stay here too long, 'cause I can't go a week without doing wrong. Doing wrong. Drinking out doing wrong. Doing wrong. Well, I'm sitting at a Boston and it starts and grow roots, feeling like an old worn out pair of boots. Tell me what it is that I should do, 'cause I'm swimming in the liquor only halfway through. Watches his wings spread as wide as can be. Come on now and wrap them around me. All I wanna do now is go to sleep, so come on down and lay next to me. Oh, thank you, Jack Daniels. Oh, number 7, Tennessee whiskey got me drinking in heaven now. Oh, please, that bottle never runs dry, and you never wake up with them choosing you right. mothers trying to protect their daughters from bad boy country boys trying to kiss them down by the waters. We got mud terrains and no brains and bullet holes in our tailgates. And if you ask me, well, we're all the same. But my truck broke down and my dog ran away. My wife, she left me, she's out of the way. What do these things all have that makes them the same? Is there in every shitty country so these days? As well, my truck broke down and my dog ran away. My wife, she left me, she's out of the way. What do these things all have that makes them the same? Is there in every shitty country so these days? Starry, starry night. Paint your palette blue and gray, and look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in your soul. Shadows on the hill, sketch the trees and daffodils, and catch the breeze in winter chill in colors on the snowy linen land. And now I understand what you try to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity. They try to set them free, they don't listen, they do not know how, but perhaps they'll listen now. Starry, starry night, flaming flowers that brightly blaze, and swirling clouds in violet haze, reflecting Vincent's eyes of china blue, colors changing hue, morning fields of amber grain, weathered faces lined in pain, are soothed beneath the artist's loving hands. And now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity. You try to set them free, they don't listen, they do not know love was true. When no hope is left inside, that starry, starry night.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to day 20 of the 39 days of July. And this would be what we would normally call a Walkabout Wednesday in City Square, but we can't do that this year. That's why we're actually doing all of this live streaming. So we actually have to do it through this way. So this is, we're calling it now Talk About Wednesdays, because that's all you can do is talk about it, right? And play about it. So anyway, tonight is a really special treat. Sorry we're starting a little bit late, but it takes a little while to get everything all set up, right? But just bear with us. And if you guys go in and sit down quick. Don't quit disturbing the show. Go grab your chair and sit socially distanceable. Thank you. Thank you. And when you sit down, I'll continue. No, just joking. Anyway, tonight's a really special treat, and that Daniel Lapp. And I always like to put Daniel Lapp in company because you never really know what Daniel's going to bring until sometimes the very last moment. And when it is, it's always a treat. It's always a special treat. And I'd like to thank Creative BC tonight for being a major part of this. And for everybody else who's part of it. Now, there is the opportunity tonight, when you see these shows, just remember when we were in the City Square and I walk around with that box gets full pretty fast with $20 bills, you know, and a couple 50s and sometimes a lot of 5s and 10s. So if there's any way that you can still continue to do that tonight by donating, you'll see it underneath on our Facebook and on our YouTube how to do that. It all goes to the Festival Society so that we continue to bring you 39 days of music in a row from noon hour right through till 8, sometimes 8:30, 9:30. And right now, Daniel Lapp and Company, this is your show. Please take it away.
Thank you very much. Emmett Hodgins joining us on piano tonight. It's Emmett from Victoria, grew up in Victoria. He's been going to school at Humber College this last year, studying jazz piano. but we're not sure if you're going back yet. Hey? Who knows? Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll be happy to have you in Victoria for a while. And Mr. Adam Dobre here on the guitar, joining us from Pender Island. And Adam and I have played here before. And glad to be back at the showroom. So thank you, Long John, for the invitation to be part of the festival again this year. I don't know how you do it. It's and your whole crew. What a feat. And glad that you are pulling it off again this year in one way or another. But I've been watching online some of the shows, and it's been really a lot of fun to check it out. So hello to everyone here in the audience. We have a bit of an audience tonight. And to all of you out there in the hinterlands of the universe, welcome. We are doing a set of all British Columbia fiddle tunes tonight. So all original tunes from BC. And a few originals of my own, and we kicked things off with a couple tunes, two fellows that lived in Prince George at different times. The first is Leonard Sexsmith, and a tune called Lester's Jig he wrote for one of his uncles. And then the next tune was Riel's Jig, and Riel Aubuchon, who lives in Fort Macleod now. He's 81 years old, and he was in BC for about 26 years or so, and has written some really magnificent tunes, and happy to celebrate some Riel Aubuchon tunes for you guys tonight. And we've been talking a lot, him and I, lately, and he's still writing tunes and sending me tunes on a very regular basis, so he's an amazing fella. So we will continue with, let's see, we're going to sort of travel around the province a little bit. As you'll see here, I have brought a little collection of just collectible paraphernalia from BC fiddlers, and we'll talk a little bit about that at different times. Maybe we'll talk about this one right now. This is a fellow named Bob Montgomery. You can see this. Maybe you can see this. I don't know how high-tech we are, but Bob Montgomery was a great BC fiddler. He lived in Oyama, BC. I don't know if any of you folks out there know where Oyama is, but this is a little tiny community between Vernon and Kelowna in the Okanagan. And Bob was a multiple BC fiddle champion and one of the great players of jigs. And why don't we do one of his jigs right now? Why not? Yeah. Okay, give D. We're still in jig mode. It's all right. 1, 2, 3. that was Sandy Cameron's Jig by Bob Montgomery, and then we went into another Leonard Sexsmith tune. So Leonard Sexsmith, fiddler from Prince George. He was a welder, taught welding at the College of New Caledonia in Prince George. And we'll play at least one more of his tunes before the set's over. And we'll play one by his brother Max as well, Max Sexsmith, who was also a BC fiddle champion. When I started collecting tunes, this is 30 years ago, I was on the road with Spirit of the West and going to Scotland for the first time in my life. And to prepare for that tour, I learned a bunch of Scottish tunes. And while I was there, people didn't want to hear me play Scottish tunes. They wanted to hear me play tunes from my neck of the woods. So I came home from that trip, and that's when I started asking my old fiddle friends and some young fiddle friends if they'd written any original tunes. And thus began the collection of tunes written by BC fiddlers. So there's over 1,000 tunes, so we're going to be here all night long. Hope you're ready for that. Yeah, well over 100 composers and a very rich tradition that goes back over 100 years. So we're, fiddling is alive and well, and we have young talent like Quinn with one N, who's here tonight as well and played yesterday, bringing our tradition into new frontiers as well. So it's a very exciting time for BC fiddle music. And young musicians like Emmett here too, bringing a new angle to the harmonic composition of, that's great. So anyway, Leonard Sexsmith, it was, as far as a fiddle player, a little bit in his brother's shadow for years, but when I started collecting, lo and behold, Leonard really had the magic. Well, Max has great tunes, but Leonard had just a whole bag of amazing, amazing original tunes. So we'll play some more of those a bit later. I think maybe we'll do a little Ook-Pik waltz now. All right, you guys? So one of our most celebrated fiddlers in BC, an Albertan originally, moved, he left Alberta, left home at the age of 14 and joined the circus. And that began his life as an entertainer, and he was a professional musician, entertainer his whole life. And this is, we got Frankie Rogers here. So Frankie put out quite a few albums. I have over a dozen of his records. And just a prolific composer and virtuoso fiddle player. He went to, when the gigs were drying up and country music was kind of, losing some of its power, in the rock and roll was taken over in the 50s. Frankie moved to Australia and lived in Australia for 10 years. When he came back, he kind of was reestablishing himself a little bit as a professional musician around BC, and put out a series of cassette tapes, as he was playing in shopping malls and all kinds of stuff, anywhere for a gig. And so there's lots of recordings of Frankie Rogers and a whole pile of tunes. I think I have a couple other things here to show. Oh yeah, I got a little book. Frankie put out his own book of tunes here. And so if you ever see this in a thrift store, make sure you grab it. But all handwritten copies of his original tunes is very charming. It's awesome. So we'll do his most famous tune, and it's a tune that's played all across North America, and especially in America, in the United States. They don't realize it's a Canadian tune and a Western Canadian tune, but it's one called the Ook-Pik Waltz. So we'll play the Ook-Pik Waltz. Starting on the E minor, boys. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Maybe we'll do a couple tunes that I wrote. My parents were married for 65 years, Clarence and Charlotte. And for their 50th wedding anniversary, I wrote a couple tunes for them. So it's called The Legacy of Love. There's 6 of us kids, so it's a bit of the legacy part. And then a tune called After 50 Years. And then we'll do a third jig, which is one I wrote in England, in Northumberland, spending a bit of time there a number of years ago. And it's called Old as the Hills. I'm just, as I pulled into Duncan, I sort of did a little detour and went by Reed Hudson's place and picked up a bow. I had a bow rehaired. So it was very exciting when you've gone 4 months without a bow rehair but it's needing a little bit of TLC here now. No, this is an old bow, but with new hair. Very exciting. So I just need to put my mic back on here.
Your hair would work pretty good for a bow.
Yeah, my
Not that
hair is
straight,
like my
you know,
COVID
but-
hair. It's almost long enough. That's what I'm planning.
But it's so straight. It's perfect.
Why don't we stay on Vancouver Island and play Gordy McConnell tune, the Prairie Falcon Waltz? Is that all right? Gordy McConnell was a fiddler, multi-instrumentalist on the island. He passed away just a year ago. And so during this COVID time, I've had an opportunity to really start digging in earnest and archiving and going through many boxes of recordings. I have lots of cassette tapes of just home recordings that fiddlers sent me and gave to me. Some great Prince George jam sessions in the 50s. And books and music. And my mom collected stuff around the Prince George area, so I have boxes of old posters and programs from fiddle camps and all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty amazing. And I've had this stuff for quite a long time, but I'm finally getting a chance to really dig in. And I feel like I'm excavating. That's the word that keeps coming up for me. But I've been doing a Wednesday night online class. We have 51 people registered from the Yukon to California. And we're studying a composer a week, a BC composer, and then learning one tune. So it's been great inspiration for me and motivation to, scan photographs and write out bios and that sort of thing. So it's been really great. I found this great tape that Gordy made me quite a few years ago. It's just him playing through a bunch of his tunes. And you know how charming old cassettes are, you know, how handwritten. We made tapes for each other back in the day. And this is one of those tapes. I just love it. Song by song, a song written in black ink and then red ink and then black ink and then red ink, just to make sure that I see the difference between them all. Anyway, he had recorded this tune on there, and we've been playing it for 25 years around BC now, and I've taught it to a lot of people in BC and in Washington at the Fiddle Tunes camp down there. So we'll play it for you now. It's one of our favorites. It's called the Prairie Falcon Waltz. That's out of Courtney, that tune. So I think maybe we'll do a couple foxtrots for you. Okay? So these are basically little swing tunes, and they are always favored at the dances because. Pardon? Well, there's a bit of room here. You go right ahead. I encourage you. I give you full permission. Oh, it's the West Coast. We'll do a little medley here of two of our BC tunes that have sort of traveled pretty far and wide. We will do a Leonard Sexsmith tune once again, and it's one called Out the Buckhorn Way. And the Buckhorn is a sort of a region outside of Prince George. So out the Buckhorn Way, it's, you know, if you live out there and someone says, where do you live? You say, I live out the Buckhorn Way. And then another tune called the Cheslata Lake Rag by Mac Sexsmith. So these are two brothers. Their father was a fiddle player as well. And there was 5 brothers. And these two were fine fiddle players, very good fiddle players, and also great composers. And so these two tunes here, the Sexsmith brothers were in the habit, they had Don Messer's home address. So I don't know, you here in the audience, you know who Don Messer is? So, yeah. Okay, so at one point he was, you know, one of the most famous Canadians. And he had a TV show which was watched religiously on Sunday nights. And so, you know, that was a big deal to have a tune recorded by Don Messer. So I have in my little box here a couple things I wanted to share with you. So here's a Don Messer record, okay? Yeah, Hello Neighbor, Don Messer and his Islanders. And on the back here, you won't be able to see this, but is the, yeah, okay. Well, it's so small. But anyway, listed here is Out the Buckhorn Way. So, you know, one of those cassette tapes made it to Don's house by Leonard Sexsmith. And then also then on another Don Messer record, the TV favorites, the Cheslata Lake Rag. So this was a big deal. Not only that, but this is a great fiddler here from Ontario, and his name is Rudy Meeks. And Rudy recorded Out the Buckhorn Way as well. And then this album made it all the way to the Shetland Islands, and one of the great fiddle players from the Shetland Islands also recorded Out the Buckhorn Way. So I have that record too, but I couldn't find it when I was rushing for the ferry. But anyway, so I want to celebrate those tunes and play them for you if you've never heard them before. So here we go. Out the Buckhorn Way and Cheslata Lake Rag, and at some point, well, a little guitar solo. Giddy. Yee-hoo. is Adam Dobry on the guitar. How about a little fish cakes? Yeah? We've had, over the years, a lot of great fiddlers come to BC to do concerts for us. And one of those great fiddlers is a fellow from Cape Breton. His name is Jerry Holland. And Jerry was recording for Rounder Records when he was about 18 years old. I think his first record came out. He had Cape Breton parents, but grew up in Massachusetts. A lot of Cape Bretoners went across the border. They didn't travel very far. I didn't have to go very far to get into Massachusetts in that area. But some of our great Cape Breton fiddlers came from just across the border. Well, from Cape Breton, but lived across the border for work. And so Jerry spent the summers in Cape Breton, but during the year in Massachusetts, the house was filled with Cape Breton music and culture all the time. And so he finished high school, hopped in his car, and immediately, like the next day, drove to Cape Breton and never lived anywhere else for the rest of his life. So when he was out here, the first time he came out, I produced the concert for him. I was a big fan of his and got to know him quite well, and then was able to do a few tours with him playing piano for Jerry, which was a real thrill. And sometimes, in this one particular time, it came up often. He was always celebrating Cape Breton culture everywhere he went, Cape Breton stories, jokes, and this one time, we woke up in a billet's house, and I could hear chattering going on in the morning. And I went into the kitchen, and there was Jerry at the stove cooking fish cakes for our hosts. And it's still a bit of a mystery to me where he got the ingredients, because I was with him pretty much 24/7 on the road. But somehow he showed up at that house with a grocery bag, and he made fish cakes in the morning. And it was amazing. So he passed away almost 10 years ago now. It is 10 years ago this year. So I wrote this tune for him. It's called Fish Cakes. Thank you. I think we'll maybe do a couple real Aubuchon reels. What did I think of a title for a tune the other day? Real reels. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm just full of ideas. So let's do a tune called Prairie Fire. It's a real and F. And then we'll go into one that he wrote in G. For over 20 years, there's been the Canadian Grandmasters Fiddle Contest. And for the first many years, at least a dozen or so, it was held in Nepean, Ontario, near Ottawa. And the basic premise of this contest is there's 5 fiddlers invited from each province and territory. And the first year, Riel was invited to it. And he got there and he played one of his own tunes. And someone asked him about the tune after, because they had never heard it before, of course. And they liked it, and he didn't have a name for it, so he called it the First Grandmasters Reel. So here we go, Prairie Fire and the First Grandmasters Reel. And one of these cassettes here, this one here, this is Riel's Prairie Fire cassette. So I'm starting a record label for BC Fiddle Music, and I hope we'll be re-releasing some of these great albums. Just so that everyone can hear them, because I know you want to buy one if you could. All right, here we go. list here. I'm not following any particular order. Just lots we'd like to play for you. Oh, how about a little Blue Ridge? Yeah? Blue Ridge? So, another one of our younger generation fiddlers is, if you catch this, Tanya Elizabeth. So Tanya was born in Calgary. Some Quebec heritage in her background. Moved to Victoria when she was, I think, about 11, and joined the BC Fiddle Orchestra, which Adam was a part of. And Adam and Tanya and Adrian played a bit of music together. They had a trio. What was it? 7-carat fiddle?
Yeah, that sounds about right for a 13-year-old to call a band. 7-carat fiddle. No idea where the name came from, but that was it.
So Tanya was a force at a young age, an amazing fiddle player right from the time she was a teenager. Lots of different genres. She could play Cape Breton, she could play bluegrass style, all the old-time Canadian stuff. Very talented. And so she's made her living and her career as a musician, and she lives in Nashville now. She's lived all over the U.S. She's been in Nashville for quite a few years and plays with a band called the Avett Brothers, which are a pretty well-known band. It's kind of a nice gig for her. And she has a little daughter now, and in a big garden in Nashville, and doing really great. So she wrote this tune called the Blue Ridge. It's a jig. And then back in the day, I think it's on the CD, as a matter of fact. Like this CD is when Tanya was 14. She co-wrote a tune with Adrian Dolan, who you were having dinner with just down the road, just before tonight. He's not here because they're expecting twins. The twins are almost pretty much overdue
Any
now, right?
minute.
Yeah. So he didn't dare leave the
I
house.
guess he's forgiven.
He says hello, though, especially to you, Emmett. Yeah.
Hi, Adrian.
Yeah. And so Adrian's a great musician, lives here in the Cowichan Valley, has a recording studio in Ladysmith now. And so I think the story is they were busking, and they took a short break, and someone said, play something, as if, they should just continue without stopping. And so they wrote this tune called Something. So we'll do that one, and then this is a little medley that we created last summer with some young fiddlers, including Quinn, and some other kids from all over BC that came to Victoria as part of a province-wide youth fiddle exchange, kind of, well, not an exchange, but it was kind of an ensemble. Get to know some of your other young musicians from around the province kind of thing. And so we put this medley together. And then we finish it with a great tune from Prince George, one of my hero fiddle players. His name was Frank Lowry, and he wrote this real barn burner called the Barkerville Connection. Anyone here been to Barkerville? Yeah, I'm going next week. Can't wait. All right, here we go. So we'll see how this goes. Thank you. Well, this has been fun. Yeah, I think my last gig was March 14th. When was your last gig?
My last gig? Like
Yeah.
with us together?
Well, I guess you played recently. So
Played recently
you've-
on Pender Island, a little
Yeah.
backyard sort of concert.
Mhm.
But before that, it was 4 months of nothing. 4 months of gardening. Yeah.
Let's see your nails.
Mhm. Dirty.
Yeah, it's been odd, but how about you? You been doing any gigs?
Before the apocalypse.
Yeah.
There was, I think, like March 20th or something.
Yeah.
Around there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an odd time, but I think we're doing all right around here. Everyone here is okay? Yeah?
I've been doing 5 shows a week since this whole thing started, so nothing's changed in my world.
Nothing's changed.
Busy.
It's good. Thanks for keeping it alive.
Yes, thanks for all you've been doing, and thanks, Long John, for once again 2020. We have the 39 days of July. It's amazing. I don't know if yeah, here. A couple months ago, you were probably wondering if you'd be able to pull this off, but here you are. You're doing it, and we really appreciate it. So, got me off Pender Island, into my car, and had to find a mask. And all in all, as I say, I've been digging into the BC tunes and teaching my choir online and teaching a bunch of kids online, and so I've been busy, and it's in some ways been really good just to sort of stop the chaos of the life that I was leading, and as much as it was good too, but it's nice to sort of look at things with some fresh eyes. So, but I'm really glad to be here playing with 2 of my very favorite people, and Adam Dobre again, and Emmett Hodgins. So yeah, maybe we'll just do a couple. We'll do a couple more. We'll stick them in a little medley for you, and yeah, let's give this a whirl. I think we'll do Out Her Window. So this is a tune of mine called Out Her Window, and then we'll go. We'll finish up with a Frankie Rogers tune called Skiffle Fiddle. Skiffle Fiddle. Okay, so thank you to a live audience. Again, this is a first for me for a very long time. I didn't know if I'd be able to speak up here. But I hope that you've enjoyed a little bit of the BC fiddle composer's background. And I'm excited about it, and probably will start doing some podcasts and things like that. I've been thinking about different ideas. And starting to do more interviews. Quinn, I'd like to interview you one of these days. I'm finding that in the collection of stuff that I have, it's the tunes are, of course, awesome, and the composers playing their tunes is really what it's all about. But some of the tapes where they are talking to me and sort of telling stories, or I have a couple radio interviews that some fiddlers did, there's just so much valuable history and information right from the fiddlers. So I've decided that I'm going to try and interview fiddlers on a regular basis, but also accompanists, because accompanists get a whole other perspective on the fiddler's experience. Anyway, once again, thank you, and it's great to be here playing for you, and so we'll finish up with these couple tunes. Let's do it. We said we'd do it. Thank you. We'll just finish up with this one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ho!
Daniel Lapp, everyone.
Daniel Lapp and company. My goodness. I don't know. As much as I like more, you just left me in such a wonderful place. I'm kind of content. I don't know how everybody else feels, but I'm quite content where I am right now. Are you guys? Yeah. Unless you want to do another one. If we do we have any applause? Do we hit? Just a minute. Well, here they come. Yeah, the crowds are getting behind it. The crowds are getting behind it. I could use one more.
Okay. Well, let's finish with something fast then. Thank you very much. There's a few of those 1,000 tunes we haven't played yet, so we'll do a couple more. Let's do a medley of reels.
Couple. We said one more.
Yeah, we'll stick them together. You won't notice. But let's do. We'll do a Métis tune from Prince George, the Morin Creek Reel by Jules Moran. And then we'll do another Vancouver Island tune, the Ralph River Breakdown by Royce Weber. How about we finish those two? Stay in G. And so a couple more. Another local tune to finish with. Thank you. All right.
Daniel Lapp and company. And thanks for introducing us to Emmett, for goodness sake. Thank you very much. Yeah. By the way, I want just a special shout out. We got a company in the audience tonight. Mr.
Yes.
Indio Saravanjo was in the audience. Come down to see Daniel, because Daniel played on his album just recently, didn't you? That's right. So he's in the audience tonight. Thanks for showing up, Sarah. Indio, we appreciate that. He wanted to know why I wasn't wearing his T-shirt, right? So I had to do it to him. By the way, this is day 20 of the 39 Days of July. It was our Talk About Wednesday. I'm sure people will be talking about this one for a long time. That was a wonderful set. Thank you guys for doing what you do. And I want to thank Creative BC for helping us out. Like, that made the whole thing. Like, there's so many agencies and people out there that are willing to really try and make sure that music can stay alive. We're up against it. If you take a look, when they say all those things, the music industry is the one at the very back of the line that they're even thinking about, right? So we're doing our best, and so is everyone else. So I can tell you, these guys really appreciate some of you being here tonight as a live audience, and for all those of you that were tuned in, like, wow, it's this is the way it is. Hope you enjoyed it, because these guys sure put it out tonight really strongly. I enjoyed that, Daniel. Thank you, Andre, and everybody. It was just a wonderful night. Don't forget, if you're walking out, there is a donation box over there. And if you're online, you can always donate to the Duncan Calvin Festival Society, 39 Days of July. There's all sorts of little things up there to show you how to do that. Thanks to Dr. Ted Cadillac and to Trevor and to Matt for helping out, and everybody else that helps keep this damn place alive so we can continue doing what we're doing.
I can't believe you never broke one string.
June's been here for every show almost since we started 20 days ago. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, I want to thank everyone for coming along and being a part of this, the 39 Days of July, day 20. Till tomorrow. See you then.
that you'll take me along. But you know it's been so long, the timing is wrong. I said it's nice to see you, and we're overdue. Oh baby, that's just fine, I can't read my mind.